Hey, what's up, awesome creators? My name is Joshua Partugi. I'm a content creator based in Brisbane, Australia. That's right, down under. In my channel, I review gears that content creators use. If that is something that you might be interested in, you may want to consider subscribing to this channel. So in today's video, I'll be testing this microphone that you're seeing and hearing right now. That is the Lauten Audio LS-208. For those of you who are in the business of live streaming, podcasting, online training, well, basically any business that involves speaking in general, the LS-208 might be the microphone you want to consider. Now, if we look around, we can see many podcasters and streamers using the Shure SM7B. I personally do not like the tone of SM7B, and I also think that not every podcaster or streamer needs to use the SM7B. So in today's video, I'll be only testing this microphone for spoken word use cases only. I'll not be testing it on musical instruments. I'll be comparing this microphone with two other dynamic podcast microphones so that you can decide whether this microphone is actually suitable for your voice. So today, I'll be comparing the LS-208 with the ubiquitous Shure SM7B and also with the Australian-made Rode Podmic. Now, for your information, neither Shure, Rode, or Lauten Audio sent me any of these microphones. I purchased all of these microphones with my own money, so all reviews on this video are based on my own opinion. I have been using the LS-208 mainly for online training. Before using the LS-208, I have been using the SM7B for online training and live streaming, but I found myself not liking the tone of it. The only thing I like about the SM7B is its background noise rejection. Now, in my case, I need a microphone with good background noise rejection because I may be facilitating an online training when my kids are at home. Now, when they're at home, they can be quite loud and active. But even if my kids are at school when I'm facilitating an online training, sometimes my neighbors may be mowing their lawn or their dog may be barking out of all of the sudden. And those noises oftentimes can be disturbing for the participants, and I found that as a disservice to them. So you may be telling me right now, why don't I just use a noise gate software like Crisp to cut out all of those kinds of noises? The thing I don't like with noise gate software like Crisp is that it can make my voice sound unnatural when speaking. I personally prefer having a hardware to reject the background noise rather than a software. But that's just me, okay? Everyone have their own preferences. Anyway, after I found myself not liking the tone of SM7B, I asked myself, would there be any condenser microphone in the market that has a good background noise rejection as good as a dynamic microphone like the SM7B? So when I searched around over YouTube, I found several people reviewing this microphone. Since I live in Australia, I then searched whether there are any local suppliers in Australia who sell this microphone. When I found there's a supplier in Australia who sells it, I immediately purchased it, and ever since I have been loving this microphone. I personally think this microphone is also quite versatile as it has two switches, one for the high pass filter and the other one is for the low pass filter. We will test shortly how these filters affect the tone of my voice. So this microphone also comes with a hard case, which is really appreciated because something like the SM7B only comes in a box. And besides a carrying case, as you can see, this microphone also comes with a shock mount. In Australia, this microphone is sold around $920-ish. Because this microphone needs to be imported to Australia, you will see several suppliers sell it with different prices. So your miles may vary. Okay folks, without further ado, let's test this microphone for some more use cases and then compare it with the Shure SM7B and also with the Rode Podmic. And besides the Shure SM7B and the Rode Podmic, I will also be using Earthworks M23 as the reference microphone. My signal chain for all of these tests is all microphones will go through a Zoom L8 and then it goes straight to my DAW, which is the Adobe Audition. I will boost and normalize the gain and loudness in post with Adobe Audition. Alright folks, before we do more tests on the Lauten Audio LS-208 and compare it to the Shure SM7B and also the Rode Podmic, I want you to have a point of reference. So this is the sound of my voice on the Earthworks M23 as a reference for you. This is the sound of my voice through the Earthworks M23 as a reference for you. So let's do more tests on the LS-208 and also the Shure SM7B and the Rode Podmic. Okay, now I am speaking to the Lauten Audio LS-208. No high pass filter or low pass filter switch on the microphone has been turned on. The gain on Zoom L8 is set to 3 o'clock. This is the sound of my voice. What do you think? What do you think? Now, let's test how good this microphone is in preventing plosives without the pop filter on. Okay, let's take off the pop filter. Peter Piper picked up pepperoni pizza and pasta from Pizza Presto Pronto. Peter Piper picked up pepperoni pizza and pasta from Pizza Presto Pronto. Now, let's put the pop filter back on and let's do more tests. Okay, now as my voice is quite sibilant, let's test how good this microphone is in cutting out or reducing sibilance in my voice. Sally sees seashells at the seashore. Sally sees seashells at the seashore. What do you think, folks? Do you think it's piercing in your ears? Now let's turn around this microphone to test the off-axis coloration. I am talking to the side of the microphone. Okay, now let's turn around the microphone and I'll be speaking at the back of the microphone now. Okay, I am now speaking at the back of the microphone. I am speaking at the back of the microphone. As you can see, I am speaking at the back of the microphone. Can you hear the difference? Can you hear the difference? Okay. So as you can see, the LS-208 is quite sensitive and you must be speaking directly in front of the microphone. Now, if you're going to be animated, for example, using this microphone for character voiceover, the sensitivity of this microphone is something that you might want to consider. Now, let's say you're a streamer, a type of streamer who does not want the microphone to be in the frame. Now, let's test how good this microphone is in capturing my voice when I am 20 inches away from the microphone. All right, let's do the test. So this is the sound of my voice when I am 20 inches away from the microphone. Still normal tone, still normal tone. What do you think? Do you think it's still quite clear when I am 20 inches away from the microphone? Let me know, leave a comment down below. Now we are going to test the high pass filter and the low pass filter on this microphone. So before we test it, I'm going to be speaking back to the Earthworks M23 again as a palette cleanser for you. Okay. Alright folks, before we turn on the high pass filter and the low pass filter switch on the LS-208, as a point of reference for you, this is the sound of my voice through the Earthworks M23. So now let's turn on the 10 kHz low pass filter switch on the LS-208. Alright folks, you are now hearing my voice through the Lauten Audio LS-208 with the 10 kHz low pass filter switched on, but the high pass filter has not been applied on this microphone. What do you think? Do you notice any difference, or do you think it's just a subtle difference? Let me know, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Alright folks, we are now back to the Earthworks M23 before we turn on the 8 kHz low pass filter switch on the LS-208. Okay, so now let's turn on the 8 kHz switch on the LS-208. Alright folks, you are now hearing my voice through the Lauten Audio LS-208, this time with the 8 kHz low pass filter switch on, but the high pass filter has not been applied on this microphone. What do you think now? Do you notice any difference? Is it a big jump or is it a subtle difference? Do you prefer the sound of this microphone with the 8 kHz low pass filter switch on? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. Alright folks, we are now back to the Earthworks M23 as a point of reference for you before we unset the low pass filter switch and set the high pass filter switch to 50 Hz on the LS-208. Okay, so now let's test the LS-208 with the 50 Hz high pass filter switch turned on. Alright folks, you are now hearing my voice through the Lauten Audio LS-208 with the 50 Hz high pass filter switched on. The low pass filter has not been applied on this microphone. So what do you think? Do you like the sound of this microphone with the 50 Hz high pass filter switched on? Let me know, leave a comment down below. I would love to know your thoughts. Alright folks, you know that we have to go back to the Earthworks M23 again. We are now going to test the LS-208 with the 120 Hz high pass filter switch turned on. Okay, so let's hear it. Alright folks, on this test you are hearing my voice through the Lauten Audio LS-208 with the 120 Hz high pass filter switched on, but the low pass filter has not been applied on this microphone. What do you think? Do you like the sound of this microphone with the 120 Hz high pass filter switched on? Leave a comment down below. I would love to know your thoughts. Alright folks, as I mentioned earlier, one of the reasons why I like the Lauten Audio LS-208 is because of its background noise rejection capability. So for the next test, I have asked help from two of my kids to do some noises, and we will hear whether their noises is being picked up by the microphone. Alright, so let's hear it. Can you hear their noises? So they're outside of my room. Can you hear their noise being picked up by the microphone? Alright folks, as I'm speaking right now, they're also making noises at the same time. So let's hear whether this microphone is still picking up their noises as I speak right now. Alright folks, before we move on testing the next microphone, which is the Rode Podmic, as a palate cleanser for you, this is the sound of my voice through the Earthworks M23. This is the sound of my voice through the Earthworks M23. So let's test the Rode Podmic. Alright folks, we are now moving on to the next microphone, which is the Rode Podmic. It's an Australian made microphone. It's a budget alternative to the other microphones like the Shure SM7B. In Australia, this microphone costs around 150-ish Australian dollars. So on the Zoom L8, I have set the gain to 3 o'clock for the Rode Podmic. This is the sound of my voice on the Rode Podmic. What do you think? What do you think of my voice on the Rode Podmic? Now I'm going to be moving further away to test how good this microphone is in picking up my voice when I am about 20 inches away. Okay, so this is the sound of my voice when I am 20 inches away from the Rode Podmic. What do you think of this microphone capability in capturing sound when we are 20 inches away from the microphone? Let me know. Leave a comment down below, folks. Now I have moved closer to the microphone. I'm going to test how good this microphone with its built-in pop filter in rejecting plosives. So I am going to test plosive. Peter Piper picked a pepperoni pizza from Pizza Pronto. Peter Piper picked a pepperoni pizza from Pizza Pronto. Okay, so we have test plosives with this microphone with its built-in pop filter. As my voice is quite sibilant, I'm also going to test how good is the Rode Podmic in reducing sibilance in my voice. Alright, here we go. Sally sells seashells at the seashore. Sally sells seashells at the seashore. Sally sells seashells at the seashore. So that is the Rode Podmic in rejecting sibilance in my voice. What do you think of the Rode Podmic compared to the Lauten Audio LS-208? Alright folks, before we test the last microphone mentioned on this video, which is the Shure SM7B as a palate cleanser for you, this is the sound of my voice through the Earthworks M23. This is the sound of my voice through the Earthworks M23. So let's test my voice on the Shure SM7B. Alright folks, now we are on to the last microphone on today's video. That is the ubiquitous Shure SM7B. And right now I have set the gain on Zoom L8 to maximum, which is 5 o'clock. On Zoom L8, that's around 54 dB. Okay, so I am cranking up the gain on Zoom L8, and this is the sound of my voice through SM7B. No pads or filters has been applied on the Shure SM7B. So this is my voice on the normal settings on the Shure SM7B. What do you think, folks? As you can see, I'm eating the microphone right now. I'm really close to the microphone. What do you think of my voice through the SM7B? I'm going to be moving further away to test how good this microphone is when you are further away, so you can have a comparison between this microphone and the Rode Podmic and also the LS-208. Alright, here we go. Alright folks, now I want to test the capability of SM7B in picking up my voice when I am 20 inches away from the microphone. This is still the normal tone of my voice, but I'm 20 inches away from the SM7B. What do you think of the SM7B compared to the LS-208 and the Rode Podmic? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. I would like to know your thoughts. So now I am moving closer to the microphone. I want to test plosives on this microphone just like on the other two microphones. Peter Piper picked a pepperoni pizza from Pizza Pronto. Peter Piper picked a pepperoni pizza from Pizza Pronto. Alright, so that's the sound of my voice testing plosives on the Shure SM7B. And as the other two microphones, I will also want to test how good this microphone in reducing sibilance in my voice. Alright, here we go, folks. Sally sells seashells at the seashore. Sally sells seashells at the seashore. So that is my voice on the Shure SM7B. Normal settings, no pads or switches has been applied. And on the Zoom L8, the gain has been set to maximum, which is 5 o'clock or plus 54 dB. Alright, folks, what do you think of my voice on the Shure SM7B compared to my voice on Rode Podmic and also the LS-208? Alright, folks, we are now going to go back to the Lauten Audio LS-208 for the last time. And before I close today's video, as a palate cleanser for you, this is the sound of my voice through the Earthworks M23. This is the sound of my voice through the Earthworks M23. Let's go back for the last time to the Lauten Audio LS-208. So what do you think of the LS-208 compared to the Rode Podmic and the Shure SM7B? Would you consider using it for your next podcast or live stream? Leave a comment down below. I would really be interested to hear your thoughts about this microphone. I know the price might turn off some people, especially if you will be buying this microphone in Australia, considering there are many more budget-friendly options compared to this one. Alright, folks, that is all from me today. I hope you found today's video useful. If you do find it useful, it would be much appreciated if you can click the like button down below. If you're a content creator who wants to have references of the next gear for your contents, consider subscribing to this channel. I will post more videos on content creation gears like this one you're watching right now. Until then, stay creative and keep creating. Bye, folks.